Hey, what's up everyone? Last Night in Soho, directed by Edgar Wright, just released in theaters, so let's review it. Before we jump into a review, this is going to be a spoiler review for the movie, so if you haven't seen it, you're free to watch this video. And as always, if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe, and leave a comment down below telling me what you thought of Last Night in Soho. And let's jump right into the review. So this movie is this is my first Edgar Wright movie that I've seen. I know he's a really popular director. He's directed a lot of kind of popular movies in the 2000s. And this was the first one I've seen. I definitely need to watch more of his movies. As obviously he's a really popular director. And this movie follows Eloise, and she goes to London to go to college, or she goes to Soho, which is in London, I believe. I'm not 100% on the geography of that, but she goes there, and she starts having these weird visions of this girl played by Anna Taylor-Joy in the 60s, and really just evolves from there. Anything else would be spoilers, as this movie does quickly evolve into getting crazier. But overall, I really did enjoy this movie. I had a great time seeing it in theaters. And first, definitely the biggest standout of this film is going to be the cinematography and the camera work, and how they edit all the scenes together. Especially the flashback scenes in the 60s. I believe it was the 60s. You go to the 60s quite regularly, and it really. You see a little bit of in the trailers, but it looks really cool. And they really do a nice job at kind of capturing that, and the cinematography is really nice. How it kind of captures both characters in the scenes. If you've seen the movie, you know what I mean. And they especially did a good job at making this movie very visually pleasing to watch, especially in theaters. It was just a really impressive what they did here. Is hands down my biggest standout from this movie, because it was really awesome to see the cinematography, the camera work, the editing, all that stuff really worked for me. I thought the plot in this movie was also really interesting. I kind of summarized what the plot was, but it's just a really unique plot. It's pretty much a horror movie, but not entirely. There's a lot more characterization and drama to make it a little more than a horror movie, because it's not quite trying to scare you and stuff like that. But for the most part, it's a horror movie, and the plot as it evolves, it gets really interesting. You're really on the edge of your seat. You don't really know what's coming next. There's lots of twists and turns throughout the story. It was just a very enjoyable plot that carried this movie very nicely. And from immediately, I did enjoy that aspect of the movie. I thought the acting was really good in this movie. There's a number of great performances in this movie, but the two leads, Anna Taylor-Joy and Thomasin McKenzie, both did an incredible job in their two lead characters. I thought they were both incredible in this movie. They did a good job at capturing their characters, and it was just excellent performances, hands down. Thomasin McKenzie, especially in the lead role in the movie, I thought she did a really good job. She gets a lot of screen time in this movie, and she did a wonderful job. She was in, I think she was in Old earlier in the year, and I don't think she was all that good in that. So it was really nice to see her actually give a really good performance in this movie. So that was really cool. I think this movie was a generally good horror movie with a lot of awesome style, especially in the first half of the movie. Just a really nice style to it. I love kind of the flashback scenes. I love all the sets and everything. They just really did a good job at capturing all that stuff. There's a lot of great horror elements. If you're a horror fan, there's a lot of great stuff in here. With different scares and different just creepy ideas and concepts that are played on throughout the film. There's a lot of that kind of stuff in there. Like I said, the style's really good. The plot in this movie is really good. The acting, the writing, you really can see Edgar Wright's passion for this film. And I like going to a movie theater and, watching a movie like this. You really can just feel like you're seeing a director's ideas play out on screen. This is really like an Edgar Wright movie. He wrote and directed it. And that kind of stuff always makes me happy to see, because that's what the movies are all about, seeing someone's vision of a film, and I really did enjoy that with this film. It really feels very unique. It's definitely a film that stands out, and I can't praise the cinematography and the editing enough, because it really looked good, as well as the costume design in this movie, and all that technical stuff that you see at the Oscars. That stuff all worked really well in this movie. It was just a really good job. It also had an awesome soundtrack, a very retro 60s soundtrack that also was really cool. There's a lot of good performance scenes in the movie that are also really nice. So it was just a really good movie. I really enjoyed it. My only complaint is as the plot begins to unravel a little, I didn't enjoy it quite as much. I really enjoyed the first hour or so of the movie. I don't know the exact timestamps because I was in the theater, but I did enjoy that. But as the plot begins to unravel and you get more answers to what's happening, I didn't enjoy it quite as much. It didn't lose me or anything, but it went down a little bit for me. But still, it was an excellent film. I was really glad I got a chance to see this one in theaters. Definitely a great movie. Highly recommend it if you're looking for a good movie to see in theaters. And I'm going to give Last Night in Soho a 4 out of 5 and 85%. Like I said, very enjoyable film with a lot of awesome, nice style, cinematography type stuff, and some clear passion from Edgar Wright that just makes this movie very enjoyable. Whether or not you're a horror fan, I think it's a good movie. Anyways, that's going to do it for my review for Last Night in Soho. If you enjoyed, don't forget to like and subscribe. Leave a comment down below, tell me what you thought of the movie. And as always, thank you so much for watching if you stuck around to the end of the video, and have a great day.